How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to this Bitcoin update, and there is a lot to dive into today. As you can see, Bitcoin is completely mirroring its past pump from the beginning of 2023. Stay tuned as we dive deep into this. Don't forget to also support the channel, like, subscribe, comment, and share so we can get to 10K as quick as possible. First of all, I wanted to start off with the weekly time frame today because what we are seeing right now is just a sideways correction for Bitcoin at a previous all-time high, which actually took 3 years from this point to get back up to. And it just makes sense that when we get up to this area, it's going to be very boring for us holders because the expectation is that this is a brick wall. We can also create another level of resistance right over here, and we can see that we're trapped under. But the reason why I have marked out this first top and not the second is because when we came in that second time, it was rejected. Although we put in higher prices, this was held as resistance. And we're actually seeing the opposite occurring here. Although there is another resistance up ahead, which I just showed that we are under, looking at this first top, we can now see that we've been using it as support. And that is the process that is needed to take place in order to get that bull market continuation, where we anticipate the second part of the bull market to be the part where we get the most amount of gains from altcoins, especially those large caps that have done nothing since the bear market bottom for any large cap holders out there. If you've noticed, it's the mid caps, the micro caps that have been bringing the most amount of gains. The only reason being is that they are so small in comparison to those large caps, and those large caps will only really get going with the Bitcoin new all-time high. We've done that, but the problem is, due to it being an area that we haven't been to since 2021, and we're now in 2024, almost over halfway, it just suggests, don't expect anything in the immediate short term. It's going to be a very boring area of price action. Look how many months we've spent here. Pretty much a majority of this year has been in this trading area between 56 and 73, 74K. So of course, we need to maintain that 56K low, which I called as the bottom, on that very day. The signals that it sent from us is that we're reclaiming a lost low, 59K, but also confirming the 20 moving average on the weekly time frame as support. And that's actually a suggestion of a new high. But again, as this is an area that's been building up for 3 years just to get back up to, when we go ahead and attempt to break our newly formed high, it's going to get at least a short-term rejection. Now, due to this being the weekly time frame, each candle being a week, and we can see over here there are already 5 candles. In fact, if we include this one pumping into the resistance, there's 6 candles. This is well over a month, guys. So pretty much it just suggests, when we're looking at this time frame and what is going on down here with the supports being held, the outcome can still take months on end for the breakout. So we could still roll over a little bit. It would be nice actually right now if we could hold this exact support, 65K. But as you can see, falling back to the 20 is totally fine. Last time it gave us a move up. We attempted to break the resistance. We're pulling back now, having another go. This is what we want to see going forward. But as you saw at the beginning of the video, we pulled up bars pattern, which we will now get into. So if I head over to the daily time frame, maybe it might be a little bit easier seeing all these patterns. But essentially, guys, this is what I'm seeing on the chart right now. It's the same process I used to call the bear market. We spotted this shoulder, head, and shoulder, followed by a double bottom over here. And I was able to tell everyone, this is my bottoming out target. This is exactly where I'm going to start buying again. And the reason being is because we saw this head and shoulders followed by a W and a collapse in the past. In fact, guys, it was the 2020 dump that we had. Shoulder, head, and shoulder, followed by a double bottom down over here, and then a further dump. And what I essentially did was go from the highest point to the lowest point and place that exactly right there. And that's how I was able to call the bear market bottom, or at least very close to, only 2K off, in fact. But I was able to signal to everyone over on my YouTube all the way back in 2021 and 2022, right over here, that I was exiting the market totally, and only willing to buy if Bitcoin gets down to here. This is where I'm buying my altcoins, and that's exactly what we managed to do. Some of you watching this video right now will remember all the way back then. Some of you are very new to the channel and maybe found my channel due to the pumps we had all the way from throughout October till March. Maybe that's the period that you found me, but we've been doing this for many years. In fact, I've got over 5 years of market experience now. And what you need to do, which is not an exact science, just as I showed you with this head and shoulders and how I managed to actually call this bottom very nicely, getting out in the high 40, 50Ks and getting back in at around 17K. We were only able to do this because we had the open mind in the first place all those years ago to realize that patterns are repeated. And that's exactly what we're seeing right now. Make sure if you haven't already to like, and if you haven't, please do subscribe. We're trying to hit 10K. For the TA that we bring on this channel, it's way better than even those hundreds of thousands of subscribers out there that are just lying to everyone. But anyways, continuing with the bars pattern that we see, we can see this area over here is a carbon copy of this. So what's happened over here is a mirror spitting image. And the same situation over here with this double top. Now you also had a double top here that lost the low. Same situation, and the double top actually had a higher high followed by a lower low. But then after reclaiming that lost low on both occasions led to a new all-time high break, or not all-time high at the time, but a new local high break. So that's why we believe in the all-time high break, because a similar thing has gone on over here. We've had this even in just the short term, just looking at this top over here, we had a double top that came back to a key level of support and lost it. So when we reclaim it and confirm it as support, which I was mentioning all the way back down over here, it's suggesting that the bottom is in, as all of these previous occasions when you've seen a lost low within the bull market, we reclaim that lost low while in the bull market and then put in that new high. So the expectation from this point is the same, but due to this being the final resistance on the entire history of Bitcoin, it just makes sense that we will spend some time around this area, because there is nothing standing in the way once we are past this point. And that is why we are getting record numbers for the amount of funds going into Bitcoin shorting the market, not actually being invested, but actually the market getting shorted. It's a record number. I think it's around nearly $6 billion. We've never seen shorts like this before. And of course, that makes it juicy for people, for the large investors, to eventually liquidate them using all those funds to send Bitcoin to new all-time highs. And at that point, there is no resistance and we will be in price discovery mode once beyond 74K. And all we now need to do is find the patterns, the potential patterns to take us up there. And that is what I spotted for you today with this bars pattern. We've identified this bottom over here is the exact same as this previous one. Along the way up, this area is also the same, with a double top that lost the base, but then reclaimed it and put in a new high. And now what we're seeing going on within this area over here is looking like we've bounced from the bottom, we've come back up into the resistance, and we're just simply short-term rejecting it, building up again as long as 56K holds, similarly to what we were saying down here at 25K. Also, when we were down here at 25K, there was a lot more validity calling for downside, because there was a CME gap where everyone says 9 times out of 10 they are filled. It was never filled. But what I'm trying to get at, everyone, is that there were more bearish indications as of this point over here. There was a huge double top setting up. Now in a bull market, they set up, but do they play out? The answer is most likely not. Or even if they do play out a little bit, like this double top up here, you came down close to the target, but they invalidated it. Same situation here. You had a double top. This was the neckline. You lost the neckline and invalidated the pattern by reclaiming it. It's the same situation here. We have this key support area. We're losing it, validating this double top, but then we're reclaiming it, invalidating it. So now we're looking for a new high. But unfortunately, as this is resistance, you get that short-term rejection, which is looking like this area over here. So going forward, guys, I want to zoom in now on the daily time frame and show you the exact level of support that I need to see Bitcoin holding going forward for the all-time high breaks at 74K, let's just call it. 59k and 56k is this key level of support that we need to maintain in order to get that bullish continuation. In this time period that we spent consolidating, the 200 EMA has dragged up from a price of $43,000 to $58,000, and the longer it takes day by day, this drags up. But please do not actually get scared if we lose this, because I'm going to show you in the past we actually have lost it. But as long as you're holding horizontal supports, we are all good. So the level of support that truly matters is 56k, but you can create an area between 56 and 59k. Our most recent higher low was here at 60k. So you can now see we have a huge area of support holding Bitcoin up. But understand, and unfortunately, it's just a common practice that altcoins are getting hurt, have continued to get hurt. Even while Bitcoin already performed this bottom, many altcoins were not reactive to this pump up. Some, of course, were, especially the meme coins. But let's leave the meme coins to the side, because that's like a whole different ball game. We're talking about altcoins that have intrinsic value, and for the most part, they were not reacting with this Bitcoin move up. Definitely were some that, of course, went up because I also experienced it, but for the most part, no, they weren't. And from this point, although we're seeing some go up and Bitcoin going up, a lot of them have just continued from this point, going down, lower, lower, and lower. And I really do appreciate it. Is very annoying. You know, for everyone in crypto, it's the same situation. Don't think that you are special. Always remember there's someone a level above you with an extra zero on the figures that they hold that is losing way more in terms of dollars, euros, pounds, but is losing the same in terms of percent. So just always think there's someone a level above me in a worse situation in terms of losing fiat, but not in terms of losing percent. Pretty much everyone is losing the same percent. So yeah, just have that in the back of your mind. How did they get up there in the first place? They would have had to hold dips, and it's the dips that creates the next pump. The bigger the dip, in fact, guys, the bigger the rip. So right now, if I were to measure this Bitcoin's chart dip, we can see we have already confirmed $100,000. But it's not going to be a quick journey. We've got a huge 3-year resistance where we are currently at. So once that is broken, there's nothing standing in the way. We will enter price discovery mode, and that's where you'll see life's changing again. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I think that the period that we're seeing right now is just a carbon copy of what we've seen last time. And from bottom to this next bottom, that was around 300 days. And if we're going from this bottom right over here to where we are currently, this is about 280 days. So if we just go ahead and say, by August, everything should start to look incredible, guys, or start the journey of heading back up. So that's it from me today. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and share. If you want me to mentor you every single week, we have multiple options. If you want it to be private between me and you, I have a one-to-one mentorship plan. Although you can do it as a community way cheaper in my Discord, where you get my help morning, day, and night in there. You have access to all my holdings, the percents that I hold within each. Anytime that I am trading is in there. Whether we want to dabble in meme coins, you completely ignore the meme coin trading. It's just something that we can do that is exciting in these times where it's really boring. But yeah, the main part of that group chat is to teach you, to mentor you into a self-sufficient trader, someone that's of my level and does not even need my help by the end of it. So join the Discord or check out the one-to-one mentorship plans, whether you want to do the group or private. Use the links down below in the description or the pinned comment section to head straight to the website. Cheers, everyone.